Avril Felicity. I'm a 22-year-old aspiring cinematographer and avid reader. I have a degree in screen production that I'm hoping to put to good use, whether that's actual jobs or just small little projects here. I'll be using this platform to post any short films and other projects that I'm working on. I'm also hoping to start cinematically recording my life, making lots of little aesthetic videos on here, as well as a log of certain things like film reviews, book reviews, all of the above. I thought I would start introducing myself through my favourites. I'll start with my Letterboxd top 4. The film that takes this top spot has been on the top spot for as long as I think I've had Letterboxd. This film is Sing Street. I don't remember when this film first became my top spot film, but this film was introduced to me by the same person who introduced me to Letterboxd, so I would assume that they're probably one and the same. This film, when I first watched it, was introduced to me by someone who held a lot of weight in my life and was very important to me, and I think that is partly why this film shot up to the top spot so quickly. And even once we've parted ways, I've watched this film so many times and it does hold up. It's just a super wholesome, fun story and very comforting. It's not officially a musical, but it's kind of a musical. Set in Dublin in the 1980s, a group of traditionally outcasts at school form a band together. Originally, the idea of the band is to get the girl, but in the end, friendships flourish and it becomes a very meaningful relationship between the bandmates and the girl. This film is always going to be one that I return to when I need a comfort film. I tend to like comfort films that have a little bit of music involved, something I can get up and dance to. This was also very hard to track down. I don't remember where I got the physical copy from or how I watched it the first time. I just know that I have it, and this DVD is very well loved because I absolutely love this film. This next one I think has also been on this list as long as my Letterboxd top 4 list has existed. Without hesitation, this one went on quite quickly, and that is Lady Bird by Greta Gerwig. This one was introduced to me, I believe, by my mother. I think she rented it and then told me I should watch it. I absolutely love Greta Gerwig. This is the first Greta Gerwig film that I saw. I definitely was watching all of her films coming out as they came out. I was almost growing up with them, and I just love the writing and the nostalgia and the story behind this. I think at the time this one came out, I was also struggling a little bit with what I wanted to do with my life. I think it was super comforting to know that this is an age-old problem and that lots of people question what they want to do or have bigger dreams than they think they can handle, and I think it was just super comforting, and I absolutely love the way this is constructed. I like all of the technical film things that you can see, all the visuals, and I just think this film is another one that I will always be returning back to when I need a little bit of comfort in the direction I've chosen for my life. The next film here is a relatively recent film. Being in Australia, we got this film a lot later than everyone else. I did go and see it in the cinema and I was absolutely bawling my eyes out. I absolutely did not expect that ending, and I think everyone else in the cinema was sobbing with me, and that is All of Us Strangers. I have a UK copy of this one because the physical media never came out in Australia and I was in the UK visiting, so of course I had to pick it up. This film was so entirely soul-destroying but beautiful. The visuals were amazing, the storyline was amazing, and I was so connected to the characters that it had me bawling. And I think it's so weird knowing that a film that destroyed you also validated and comforted you. All the small little things that they did for each other and all the small little comforts that they held, and some of their statements, it just felt so validating and so comforting, and knowing that some of the things I was feeling weren't necessarily all that individual and all that unique, and other people are out there feeling it and representing it. You can see that the common theme is that I like seeing stories that I can relate to. I actually have not rewatched this film since I saw it in the cinemas. The more I think about it, the more I love it, and I will be doing a rewatch soon because I do feel the need to see it again. The reason I haven't rewatched it yet is because I'm on a mission to try and get my to be watched list as small as possible by watching new things rather than rewatching old things. This one I think will have to be the exception. The last film on my Letterboxd top 4 is a very recent addition. This one is a really wholesome Australian film. It's very short, it's only 80 minutes long, so incredibly short, incredibly easy to watch. I don't have a physical copy of this one yet. I don't think there is a physical media release of this one, which is very unfortunate. This one just was absolutely stunning. It was so simple and yet had so much to say. It is set in rural Australia, but it is not that kind of usual Aussie noir, crime, dry desert kind of landscape that you would expect. There's some greenery, there's a reservoir. Diversity in this Australian settings I think is really important, and I'm really glad that we are showcasing that in Australian cinema. This film was directed by Katie Found, so it is super awesome to see other Australian female filmmakers making it and getting their films made. And this film was so wholesome while also having a darker side to it. We follow two 16-year-olds as they kind of trying to find their place in the world, but their world is simply just each other. So working on how they fit in around each other and what they want their life to look like. This film was so wholesome, and I can't believe it was only 80 minutes long. It felt longer, but in the best way possible. I think more Australian filmmakers should check it out. I think it's a really good in-between from what you usually would expect from Australian cinema. It's not that fully dark Aussie noir, and it's not using Sydney as kind of like another character in your story. I think it's a really good in-between, and it's a really good showcase of the possibilities of Australian cinema. And that one, basically, as soon as I watched it, went straight on to my top 4, and I don't even remember what it replaced, which is a little bit questionable, but it just shows how good it was and that it really did deserve that spot on the top 4. That was my Letterboxd top 4. If you kind of like those films, my favourite genre is coming of age, which I think is quite obvious based on my favourite films. You can check out my Letterboxd or come back for more. For the moment, that's my introduction to you as a filmmaker, and if you enjoyed and you want to see more, let me know.